My name's Curtis Furr, and this is my son Chris. We run Big Bear Creek Farms Incorporated. As far as no-tilling, we've been no-tilling here since the late 60s. We started out, played around with no-tilling with an old John Deere grassland drill. The only chemicals that we had to burn down with was 2,4-D and Lorox, and we went to the backside and burnt down a couple acres and planted it with that old drill and figured out that it would work. And that was my dad and my grandpa. I was just a little fella, but I was involved with it. But we've been no-tilling here since the early 70s. We built our first no-till planter in the early 70s, and it's been no-tilling ever since. But probably actually 100% no-tilling in the early 80s, when we got the planters and all more efficient than what they were then. Our terrain here is pretty hilly, and the biggest reason we did it was soil erosion, and that's one of the biggest reasons why we do it. And now we're trying to build our soil health up with using 7-way and 5-way mixes, using rye, crimson clover, winter peas, vetch, and then the daikon radishes to help out with some aeration. 3 years ago, I went with our local NRCS here in Stanley County, Nathan Lauder, and went with Ray Arbuchedo out of Raleigh to Burleigh County, North Dakota, and met with Jay up there. And we rode around for 2 days touring different farms and different systems that they were using, and figured out that we could make that work here in North Carolina. So we came back. Well, actually, I ordered some of the seed sitting there in the airport in North Dakota to be here when I got home. So I felt that strong about it. But we've been using rye and some crimson clovers over the years, but it just seemed like I couldn't get what I was looking for. But after looking at what that did for us, we decided to try that, and that's worked great for us. Okay, we mainly grow cotton's our #1 crop, and cotton doesn't leave no residue like the corn stalks and soybean stalks do. So we needed something to put out there to keep the erosion, and so when we defoliated, we went in and sling out the seeds along about the same time that we defoliate, so that when the leaves fall off, that they would cover the seeds and help germinate them, and that's worked real good. And that's sometime about the middle of October, and then we'll start burning down sometime around the 1st of April. We'll roll it down with a cuddle packer. We took a cuddle packer that we had here that we'd use behind the disc hire. It's 30 feet wide, and put a spray bar on it, and pulling it with a tractor with saddle tanks. And we've been using gramoxone, and it's a 2,4-D Banville mix, and using that, and it's worked out real great to roll it down, and it stays down. And then with the planters, we've got row cleaners on those that cleans out cleans about a 4 to 5 inch pass out to plant the crop. And we've sowed the thicker that we sow the rye, the better to a certain point. That's something that we've played around with, is different rates, but somewhere between 35 and 40 pound we found for us has been enough of rye. As far as the weed control, it's helped on that. The only places we're having weed problems are in the 4 to 5 inch pass at the row cleaners. And what we've been doing with the row cleaners is using we plant with a John Deere 1770 planter with frame mounted coulters, and then we put extension bars on the planter unit itself, and then using a Yetter cleaner that's unit mounted, but the frame mounted coulter is heavy enough it cuts through, and then the Yetter cleaners on the unit will clean it and does a good job.